Hey y'all, what is up? I am doing my best to multitask today, but first and foremost, how are you? How was your day? Hopefully your day was good. Coming to you with another video today, and again, I'm trying to multitask. I'm coloring my hair so I don't cut it. I'm attempting to get my dreads back. I had dreads some time ago, and yeah, I'm coloring it so that I don't cut it because I really do want to cut it. But either way, I wanted to come to you guys today. A little bit of a venting video, but again, I think just talking about things that I don't normally get to talk about, or that I normally didn't talk about because I was very much focused on fitness and nutrition and motivation and just really trying to go in a different direction. And I think I'm just trying to go in the direction that I would like to actually do, which is just talk about, life in a way of where it's, self-reflection. And again, today is a little bit of a venting situation because I wanted to talk about the things that people don't tell you when you're trying to, climb up the ladder, so to speak, and whether, within your respective industry, of course, but, there's things that aren't really discussed when talking about, trying to grow as a leader, whether that is, the actual role itself and the administrative role that comes along with not just, having more responsibility, but in a sense you have to change in a way how you deal with people and how you interact with people. If you're serious about, your position as a manager, supervisor, whatever that position may be. But before I start rambling and lose track of thought, I, again, wanted to make this video because I've definitely been really frustrated with work, not that anything is wrong in particular, not that, anybody's doing anything crazy. There's work is normal. But I think when you are trying to move up the ladder and you are trying to become a leader, become a manager, supervisor, really move up the ladder, not necessarily at the one company, but, if you're trying to be a VP or a president or whatever it is that you're trying to be of a Fortune 500 company, or if you're trying to be an entrepreneur and be a founder of multiple bit, whatever that may be. I think for me, I knew for a very long time that I wanted to be a head athletic trainer. Hopefully you can hear me for the scraping. But I wanted to be a head athletic trainer for a long time. And I knew that I wanted to be a head athletic trainer in a professional league. And, I knew I had to start out somewhere. And I knew I wasn't going to get there overnight, even though I would love that. But I am currently a head athletic trainer. So go figure, super blessed, super grateful that I've climbed a ladder pretty fast, pretty quickly in my athletic training career, but I think my prior work experience definitely helped. I was a wellness coordinator, I was a personal trainer, I don't want to say manager, but I helped in onboarding personal trainers at a community center gym type thing, not YMCA, but very similar. And I, was a personal trainer for almost 8 years. And a strength and conditioning coach, mainly with the youth, high school and younger. So outside of athletics, which is what I do now, I was in health and wellness for general population, outside of, athletes, which is what I work with right now. So right now, as a head athletic trainer, I was an assistant 2 years ago, 2020. Got promoted in 2023, which again, I don't think that normally happens for people to be an assistant in any capacity for 1 year and then be able to get into a head or a leadership position like year 2. So again, I'm very grateful, and I think there's a lot of factors that are, went into play that gave me that opportunity and afforded me that opportunity, basically. So, without rambling on even more, I didn't realize that being a leader is so much more than thinking that you're going to be able to give back to a population and you want to help people and you want to, really be different than the managers that you had, or you want to be, you want to be the big dog. Obviously, who doesn't want to be the big dog? You want to be the manager, but hopefully if you're doing it for the right reasons like I am, you also want to be the change. You want to be the change that you want to see out in the world. So nonetheless, part of being an athletic trainer, I wanted to be the athletic trainer that I wish I had when I was a student. Be an athletic trainer that I wish I had when I was a student athlete in college. And, because I had my fair share of experiences as a student athlete and as a student athletic trainer. And not all were so glamorous and so enjoyable. So I definitely wanted to, again, be an example and represent, for all those who, don't necessarily know that, hey, you can be an athletic trainer. That's an occupation that you can do. I think it's slowly growing as far as for cultural, individuals outside, just Black people. But, nonetheless, I am very shocked that, unfortunately, it's just a lot of people don't love their job. Point blank, I think it's just so interesting that people don't care enough about their job that they want to be their best every day. Especially when you work with, and work in a school in any capacity. I think if you worked in a school, in elementary school or high school, we would understand. You have to be an example. These are growing kids. It still applies when these kids are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They're still babies. I don't know about you, but I was not the brightest when I was in college, They called me blonde for a reason. So, I'm very smart. I'll take credit for that for sure, but I also have my blonde moments for sure. But why would you not want to be an example and help these college kids not have to go through what you had to go through, not have to have the experience that you had to have when you were in college as a student athlete, as opposed to you being, well, I had to go through this, so you got to deal with that, and you just got to be okay with it. Like, what? Sir, ma'am, what are we doing? We don't want to be better. We don't want to, give better opportunities and experience to those who come after us. We just want to do bullshit. Excuse my language. That kind of just, it just be taking me there. No, you don't want to be better. You don't want to. You just either want to, have control. Maybe you do enjoy being a coach. Maybe you do value being a coach. But in terms of really having the experience and knowledge to guide these students and making the right decisions is also part of you being a coach or working in any type of athletic, collegiate, high school, middle school. You are helping these young adults, young kids, to find their way in the world. And, the military does the same thing, because when, people come out the military, they come out with structure, among other things, trauma. But nonetheless, I think there is something to, being involved in an institution, an organization that provides you some type of structure that maybe you didn't have or weren't able to get at, home, so to speak. But nonetheless, I love what I do. I value what I do, and I try and be better at what I do in any way possible. Not just getting certifications, not just educating myself, but I really try and learn the students that I work with, learn who they are, learn what they're going through, and take that into account when engaging with them, because everybody's dealing with something. And that also plays a factor into their healing. So if they're injured, but they're also dealing with stress at home, and they're not able to get great sleep, and they're not, that all plays a factor into how your body heals itself, especially when you're hurt. And that's for those out there too. If you are in pain right now, if you are just dealing with aches and soreness, go to the doctor for sure if it's an excruciating pain. But also, are you going through stress? Because stress can do some things to the body, baby. It can. It'll be having you feel like you are 90 years old and you're 25. And people might not believe it. But at the same time, such an interesting world. We value hardworking people and people's willingness to basically, throw their bodies into work, into their activity, that we don't really have a culture that supports health and wellness, and really it's a luxury, honestly. So that I'm going into so many different conversations, and I'm sorry, that's how my brain works. But back to the original thing, I am just going through a time where I now have an assistant. She's amazing. She's great. No issues, no problems. It's mainly just, again, how do I learn how to navigate being a head athletic trainer and getting people to hold themselves accountable to not only helping me help them, but also you have to do better with creating an actual giving the students an opportunity to get actual tools and resources from you. Like, don't just say you got to do your homework on time, and you got to get to class on time, and you got to do this. Actually tell them, okay, you have to make a schedule so that you know what time you're going where, and when you're going this place and when you're going that place, so that you're planning it out ahead of time. Use Google Map, your Google account. You can make a spreadsheet. You can do whatever you want. Oh, I'm really having trouble studying. I don't know what to do. Okay, your coach would say, okay, that's cool, no worries. Let's talk to the tutoring department. Let's talk to your professors. Let's figure out what we need to do to give you the tools and resources. Let's talk to your academic advisor. Obviously, if you don't have all the answers, don't lie to these kids. But it's just so fascinating. Again, sometimes people just have a job for a check. They don't give a damn about being, an example, and being, giving the students, giving their clients an actual experience to remember, And I think, that's my goal every time I go into the training room. I'm going to have to teach somebody something today. Are we going to be able to do it? And I have to be willing and able to, and be able to communicate it to various different type of people. Because everybody takes information in differently. And, it's just really been not so much issues with students, not so much challenges in any way, but if I'm the only person, if my department is the only department holding these students accountable to making sure that they're stretching, to making sure that they're taking care of their bodies, to making sure that they're healthy and able to play on the court with no issues, then the students are not going to take it as seriously. Unfortunately, I'm not at a big school where it's just like a common thing and common knowledge. I work at a lower level school, so not NCAA, totally cool, totally fine. But with that, you get less resources, you get less support staff, and that definitely plays a factor into the quality of service that you can provide. Just like if you were at any other place, if you don't have all the equipment that you would need, or if you don't have the ability to hire the full staff that you would need, you know, there's going to be some holes in some places. So, nonetheless, I am trying to not only figure out how I am going to show up every day as an administrator, not just an athletic trainer anymore. I am now a head athletic trainer, so it's more about how I choose to communicate with my colleagues and less about me really doing a lot of treatment. And had several situations that happened today that did not involve me doing any treatment at all. It was all phone calls and meetings about just policy and procedure, and individuals' blatant disregard to follow it. And when you don't follow policy and procedure, you make everybody else's job hard. So let's not cut corners, you guys. Let's do our job to our fullest capacity, fullest ability. I think this is gonna be really nice, you guys. Hopefully I'm gonna keep it on for a little bit longer. But yeah, the things they don't tell you about wanting to be a high-level executive or high-level administrator, if you are wanting to be an actual impactful leader, when you get that first leadership role, oh my gosh, it's like the curtain pulled back and you see all the BS that you might have didn't see, or all the BS that makes sense why things are the way they are in your company or organization or in your team or in your department or whatever that may be. And so, and that's at any organization, right? That's at any, even the best organizations. Once you peel the curtains back, it's like, oh, y'all in here really doing this, huh? So yeah, it's like when you pull back the curtains, like, oh, you guys have a lot more things to work on than I thought. Or, you know, oh, this makes sense why these individuals do certain things or don't do certain things. So it's causing me to learn how to professionally hold people accountable. And I think that's also a sucky thing about my job. I am the bearer of bad news in so many capacities. And not just telling students when they're hurt and saying, hey, you can't play, or hey, you can't practice, sorry. It's not only that, but it's also holding my colleagues accountable to just making sure that they're doing their job and holding the students accountable to doing what they need to do academically, athletically, and holding them to some type of standard as a human being, as what I would say. But, you know, that's me being a bit, you know, everybody won't do that part. But at the same time, like, that's just, I feel like it comes with everything. You're in college, you're after this, you're about to be thrown into life. Like, so, like, my experience, at least in college, that was my experience. My professors and people on campus really, really did do their best to try and do right by the students in any capacity. I will say that. And my alma mater, for my undergrad and my first master's degree. And so, yeah, it's not just about how much money you make. It's not just about what title you have. It's who is on your boat or in your organization, and are you willing to bring them with you no matter where you're going? Meaning, Do the people you have in your organization right now, are they have the skills and the characteristics and the qualities that you need to be successful now and in the future? Because if you're only hiring people, or people on your team are only good now, but they have qualities that could be detrimental to your success as a company or a team in the future, what are we doing? What are we really doing? Oh man, but I'm going off in a rant, in a tangent. But I'm kind of glad, not for nothing, that I got that out. Hopefully you followed. Maybe you didn't. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. But being a leader, being a supervisor, being a manager, and a good one at that, is very hard. Being a bad manager or a bad leader or anything of that capacity of sort, I would imagine, is easy, because you're not consciously thinking of how do I make things better, or how do I improve myself. I'm trying to look for a shower cap and I don't think I have one. In order to be a better coach, so in order to show up better, because if you're doing that as a coach, if you're doing that in your professional life, it's probably guaranteed that you're doing that in your personal life. So like, you're kind of like a good human, and you can't see me, but I'm coming back up. Here I am. But yeah, and it's just very interesting that a lot of people out there aren't that, you know. It's clear that people don't give a food, and they probably don't give a fuck in their personal life either. And it's just like, wow, you really gotta navigate this world then, huh? If you want to be a successful person in any capacity, whether that's working for a company or working for yourself. Because you could be scamming people too if you're a, entrepreneur, right? So be a good teammate, man. Those who play sports know what a good teammate is. If you haven't played sports, then you wouldn't know, huh? But those who play sports know what a good teammate is, and that also translates over to being a good workmate, or whatever you call it. So, yeah. It's not just, being a leader is not just about the title or the role or the money you make, but it's about the impact that you can have on the people that you not only serve in terms of your customers, but the people that service them too. Because if you are not a support of your employees, or if you're not, or colleagues, or if you're not creating opportunities and a means for your colleagues and your employees to grow, then they're just gonna do the same old BS all the years through. So, but nobody grows, nobody changes, and your business doesn't grow and change, because your employees are gonna be doing the same old BS, because that's the culture. But here we are. I can't find a shower cap, so I guess I can't. I can't put a shower cap on today, so that's cool. Some people don't like when I color my eyebrows, but I'm doing ginger today, and I think ginger would look stupid without my eyebrows being colored, personally. But I hope you stuck around, and I hope that if you are looking to be a leader in any capacity, if you are looking to be a high-level executive, if you are looking to be a business mogul maybe, if you're looking to be whatever it is in your field that is the top of the top, and you want to be good at it, but you also want to be intentional and impactful, then here's something that I think is truly important that was told to me by, I don't know if they're a colleague, but we kind of work together. But they told me, basically, if you are working with individuals who don't necessarily care about their job, who are, cutting corners, who don't really put in the same effort as you, basically, to some extent, and, get away with it, more or less. Do not, I repeat, do not settle for mediocrity. Because if you allow for those people around you to influence you into not doing your job fully, into not putting your full effort into your passion, if you allow anybody else other than you to dictate the level of work that you produce, then you shouldn't even be doing that job. So do not settle for mediocrity when it is around you, workplace, professional, personal, life, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're at, church. Do not settle for mediocrity and succumb to cutting corners and doing bullshit because that's the easy way out. Don't do it. It is the easy way out now. You're going to be messed up in the future. I tell you that. So, again, glad you guys stuck around. I feel better for talking that out because I need to also remember, don't settle for mediocrity. Things are going to change. Things are going to improve. You're on the right path. You're a head athletic trainer. You are killing it. And you are too. At whatever it is that you're doing and pursuing. I will see you guys. It's been a lovely conversation. Again, what are you holding off on and putting on the back burner and not putting any effort in when making your dreams come true? And two, don't settle. Don't settle for mediocrity. And where are you settling for mediocrity? Where you're just like, well, everybody else does it, so I don't have to do it. Well, everybody else is doing this, then a third, so I'm going to do this, then a third. Have a backbone. Okay. Alrighty. I will see you guys. It was lovely talking to you. I appreciate you listening. And share with me. Let me know what's going on in your world. I'll see you later. Maybe I'll post. If you're on Instagram, I probably post this results in a hot minute. Have a good day. See you later.